Grace and peace be yours in abundance of our Savior, Jesus Christ. What has brought all of us here today? For many of us, it's a loss. Loss of a son, a daughter, a brother, a sister, mother, father, and a friend. It's an empty chair at the table, a phone number we still have saved, a picture we still look at, a voice we would give anything to hear one more time. Fentanyl has brought tremendous destruction into families and communities across this country. But while loss may be part of what brought us into this cathedral today, loss is not the only thing that connects us. Love does, hope does, and faith does. And so does the belief that something meaningful can rise out of something that has hurt so deeply. Because look around this cathedral, every person here has a different story. We come from different cities, different communities, even different backgrounds. Some of us came here carrying grief. Some came carrying a mission. Some came because we've seen this crisis firsthand. And some came simply because we believe something has to change. But today we are standing in the same place, facing the same direction. And there is power in that. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9, 2 are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor. There are some things we can't accomplish alone, but nothing significant can ever be accomplished by everyone standing alone. Movements are built when people come together. Change happens when people come together. And lives are changed when ordinary people decide that the mission in front of them is greater than the differences between them. Alone we can make a difference. Together we can make an impact. One person can start a conversation, but together we can change the conversation. One family can touch a community, a family standing together can impact the nation. One light can break through darkness, and when thousands of lights come together, darkness has a much harder time hiding. And that's what unity does. It takes what each of us carries individually and connects it to something greater than ourselves. Jesus said in Matthew 12:25, every kingdom divided against itself will be ruined, and every city or household divided against itself will not stand. A house divided cannot stand. And maybe the lesson for us today isn't to focus on division. Maybe the lesson is to recognize the strength of a house that stands together. Because when we stand together, we see opportunities we might have missed alone. We reach people we could have never reached alone. We learn from each other. We strengthen each other. And someone else's strength can meet us in the very place where ours runs out. That's the beauty of unity. We don't have to bring the same, we all don't have to bring the same thing to the table. We just have to remember why we're sitting at the same table. Some bring experience, some bring resources, some bring knowledge, some bring influence, some bring faith, and some bring nothing more than a broken heart and the determination that another family should never have to feel what theirs have felt. Every one of those things have value, and when they're brought together for one purpose, something that can never happen, something that can never have happened separately, starts to. A memory becomes a mission, grief becomes compassion, experience becomes wisdom, and pain becomes purpose. And people who have never crossed paths before become connected by a cause greater than themselves. And I want to finish with this. Matthew chapter 9, verse 37 says, the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. The harvest is plentiful. That means that there's still work in front of us. There's still people we haven't reached, conversations we haven't had, communities that need education, families who need hope, and people who need someone to fight for them. The problem isn't the harvest. The problem is finding people willing to go into it. Well, look around this cathedral. Here we are. The mother who found strength to say her child's name again. The father who's decided his family's tragedy will become a reason to protect another family. The person in recovery whose life tells somebody else you can make it. The person who took their worst worst day of their life and somehow found the courage to make tomorrow better for somebody else. Those are the laborers. And maybe none of us can change everything, but every one of us can change something. Reach one person, educate one family, open one door, start one conversation, make one phone call, show up one more time. And when thousands of people decide to do their one thing, it stops being one small thing and it becomes a movement. So we continue, not because it's easy, not because the work doesn't become exhausting, and certainly not because we already paid, because we haven't already paid an incredible price. We continue because there's still people worth fighting for. This simply isn't just a war on drugs like Frank Tarantino says. This is a fight to save lives. It's a fight for the child who doesn't understand what could be inside that pill. It's a fight for the family who doesn't know yet how to close the crisis that may be onto their home. It's the fight for the person struggling who needs to know that their life still has value. And it's a fight we were never meant to fight alone. So when we walk out of this cathedral today, let's carry something with us. Carry the names, carry the faces, carry the lessons, and carry the love. But let's also carry each other. Because our greatest strength may not be on how loudly any one of us can speak. Our greatest strength may be that we refuse to stand alone. Different stories, different gifts, different journeys, but one direction. And as long as there's another person to reach, another family to protect, another community awakened, our work is not finished. We are the laborers, and the harvest is still plentiful. And together, by the grace of God, we will keep going until every life can be reached and everybody has a fighting chance.